And he's up against Matt, who you may recognize was a standout in our last bracket. A lot of athletes just being absolute chads and picking up matches when the bracket did not go their way. We saw one of them make it to the finals of a weight class above. We'll see how that works out for Matt, who is a little bit on the defense here with Timothy attacking that front headlock, using it to pass. Again, these boys are up on the meta. They've been watching their Sam Geyer tape. This is my absolute favorite way to pass. If you're going to give me head, I'm going to take it. And Tim with a good pass, but damn if Matt is not making good frames. And something we've seen all day, if you let Matt have frames in mount, he will get to your legs. You have to isolate that man's hands in the mount or he's going to be on your legs. But Tim with the pass as soon as he can clear the leg threat. A little bit of a size disparity, obviously, as Matt is moving up a weight class. But I heard size doesn't matter, folks. What do you think? Tim again on the front headlock, pulling one of Matt's favorite submissions is his chest-to-chest guillotine. Matt often finishes it one-handed. Tim is not able to finish it, but he does move to isolate that arm, that classic walk-up underhook. Gets a look at a head and arm. But again, Matt, if you let him touch your hips in the mount, he will enter the legs. And he gets the sweep, and he comes up on the bigger man because he's just hung like that. I tell you what, folks. And he starts on the feet. I have a feeling Matt might decide to sit, and I don't blame him. Working his way through a bracket, fighting the larger man, but damn if he ain't giving a good account of himself on the feet. And he does decide to sit. Tactically, probably the right call. Even though I'm an anti-guard puller, Tim with a solid staple there on that leg, but he bails on it and gets back to that front headlock, you guys. If that's not how you're passing, you're wrong. Gets to headquarters, does Tim, or a quasi-headquarters. Looks for a backstep, doesn't quite get it, but ooh, kind of modified backstep does make it happen to the reverse knee on him, right to the mount. Controls the head, and again, he's looking for that classic walk-up isolation to get into that head and arm connection. See if he can make it happen last time. Last time, Matt was able to wiggle his elbow free. Matt doesn't seem too concerned, because as I have, oh, there he's doing, that's a little bit of a desperate move when you start pulling the shoulder. Oh, he's giving the ref a thumbs up, and that being said, Tim is too high on the arm objectively. You need shoulder collapse, right? It's not about pushing shoulder, like the delt muscle, into the neck. It's about collapsing the joint, because you're getting subclavian carotid occlusion, which is a fancy doctor word for it's not your neck. And again, Matt gets out, dude. Matt is wily in the mount. It's almost like unless you're going to keep his hands 100% of the time, don't mount. But Tim back on that front headlock. We'll see. Tim seems to be using that front headlock pretty exclusively as a position. I haven't seen him throw a ton of threats. We'll see if he can change that. That might be Matt just being really good about slipping that elbow inside like you just saw to avoid that Darce threat. And Matt's very good at the guillotine. A lot of the times when you build skill at the submission, you're very aware of its holes. And so it's going to be tough for Matt, a great guillotine guy. It's going to be tough to get him in a guillotine, I'd imagine. He's pretty familiar with the game, playing both sides of the coin. He's got a little bit of that gable around the knee, which gives him a leg entry, but he gets cradled. ABC. Once again, we're glad to hear Ben Askren talk and let us know how he is. Oh, Matt with a great reversal. Oh, up comes Tim, and Matt had a bite on a guillotine of his own. That's his path to victory, in my opinion, is a strong guillotine. Arguably his best submission. Matt's getting a little lackadaisical with his pace, but I don't think he cares about getting taken down. I think he wants people to take shots like that. You saw him a little bit look for the front head. He wants people to take shots, get him a shot at the front head, and if it doesn't work, he's got phenomenal leg lock entries, as we've seen a bunch this matchup. We've seen a bunch today in our previous, or in our earlier brackets. Matt's got that butterfly hook. I don't think none of those front headlocks are threats from my perspective. I'm not in there. I can't quite see it, but I think those are positional front headlock. That is not submission front headlock. And so to understand the rules, if you're in a choke, and this is not the actual as it's written, but think of it this way: if they're not gurgling in the choke, the ref isn't calling it. And he knows what he's doing. He's trained. He understands a choke that's about to put someone out. The real verbiage is if it elicits a defensive response. And now that is tough because, you know, avoiding getting in the choke is arguably a defensive response. But if you have to do something or you're going to get choked, that is how these, or broken, that is how we are judging these submission attempts. And if the submission attempts are equal or non-existent, then we move to topside control. But topside control is irrelevant if the submission attempts are uneven. Back on the feet. I know Matt is sitting, but I respect the hell out of him giving it a good attempt on the feet. Again, I do think it is tactical. I think he's trying to get Tim to take shots that give him a bite on the front end. I think that's what he's trying to do. Because I haven't seen him make really any real offensive moves. He just heard his coach call the time and he pulled. Because he thought, all right, if he doesn't go, I need to get on the mat so I can pull to the legs. And he's going to probably try again with a little bit better connections. Maybe a Kani Masani, or get to double inside position right away. I don't think he's going to try a takedown. Ooh, and that was maybe his opportunity to stand ground. Maybe even jump that front headlock if that's going to be his path. We have very short time here, less than 20 seconds for these athletes. I don't know if we've had any. Ooh, we have a leg entry by Matt, and one good submission could call it. Arguably, we've had no good submission attempts, which would, if that is true, and I'm not saying it is, but if that is true, Timothy would have top time, and we'll go to the referee to decide who your winner is.
Your winner,